Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen. Now, for those ones who are new to the channel, please subscribe. And for my continued supporters, I thank you for the 500 subscribers. I don't take it for granted. And now we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's make this happen. Now, this is the striker. And the striker today is leading us to the conflict in Ethiopia. Now, for the last 1 year, Ethiopia has been fighting. And not like Ethiopia is fighting with another country. No, there is a fight within Ethiopia as a country. That one section of the country is in fight with another section of the country. The government is fighting another group that is called the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Now, the fight has escalated in a way that even the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has gone to the battlefield to join the soldiers in the fight against the TPLF. Now the question is this the right thing for the PM to do? For me, it's a demonstration of a leader who has been cornered, who is at the last point of giving up. I've never heard of a leader or a president or a prime minister of a country who has joined his military forces at the war front or at the battle front to fight. I've never heard. I do know that actually, yes, normally the prime minister or the presidents are the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But they are supposed to command, they are supposed to give instructions from, maybe from State House, but not joining the men and women in uniform in the battlefront. For me, I see that one as a very delicate move by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. In as much as his people have welcomed the idea, those ones who support the Ethiopian government in the fight against the northern part of Ethiopia, yes, seeing the president or the prime minister, seeing the prime minister of Ethiopia in the war front attracts many young people also to join in the battle. But it is a very delicate move on the side of Ethiopia as a country, having their prime minister in the battlefront. What if he is killed? What will happen of the office? It will make a very easy coup, a very easy military takeover, a very easy takeover by the Tigray People's Liberation Front, which the Ethiopian government has declared as terrorists. It will be very easy for them then to take over the government. And then number two is, I listened to the Ethiopian Prime Minister say that they are in control, that they are going to actually defeat the TPLF. But the reality on the ground doesn't speak this thing, because the TPLF has taken control over the larger part of the northern part of Ethiopia. So for me, it could be like, why can't the PM call upon for help from the international community in handling the TPLF if actually they have genuine grievances against this group? Because saying that you are in control and people are being killed, women are being raped, families have been like separated, which control are we talking about? Which stability are we talking about? I think somebody needs to advise the Prime Minister of Ethiopia accordingly. And then this raises a question. Last year, in 2018, I think, last year, I think it's last year if it's not in 2019, when the PM Ethiopia received a Europol Peace Nobel Prize after he ended the conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea. So I expected the same PM to employ diplomacy and negotiation with the TPLF. But I'm very surprised that the man who is holding a very huge title of a Peace Nobel Prize actually is the same man using military against a group. And he forgets to know that actually these military tactics he's using are not affecting the Tigray People Liberation Front alone. It is affecting even the non-combatants in the northern part of Ethiopia. And then I saw that other people are actually blaming the international community, saying that the international community is supporting the TPLF. Now, the PM says he won the elections in a very democratic way and he got 97% of the total votes cast. And for me, I take it with reservation because I don't know any democracy in this country where somebody has won up to 97% of the total votes cast. No, that's one. It's a no for me. The PM needs to be honest and come out and say exactly how he won it, because 97%, no. But remember, this again were votes, all elections which were contested by the opponents. So there's a lot around those elections. But another thing is now how the PM and the supporters of the PM are now blaming the international communities like the US, the UK, France, all those international communities who are calling for diplomacy in Ethiopia. They are being blamed that they are the one inciting the conflict from the TPRF. Now, I think one thing that the Ethiopian Prime Minister fails to understand is that we have something called responsibility to protect. And there's no way the international community can sit down and see young people being killed, non-combatants being killed, children being killed, women being raped, men being cut their heads and killed. You see, and they keep quiet. They cannot keep quiet when what is actually happening in Ethiopia, it is crime against humanity. The Ethiopian government is eating its own people. So, and the fact that the TPRF and the government are fighting, it even escalates the issue so much, because then this is a government against another liberation front. And the government, led by the PM, has refused the diplomacy talks. Now, why can't the international community complain? I saw Kenya, who is a neighbor to Ethiopia, called for a ceasefire. Is this ceasefire going to happen? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to work when already the people in the northern part of Ethiopia have felt that they have lost a lot, they have lost their loved ones and so forth? Is Ethiopia going to be the same again? And I'm talking about Ethiopia being the same again. Remember, Ethiopia is one of the African countries that actually gives Africa a sense of pride. It's a country that was never kind of directly colonized. It's one of the countries that, when we read in history, it's one of the countries that has had its pride and dignity as a country for the longest time possible as far as colonization is concerned. It's very fun that the bodies that actually deal with peace building, conflict solution, most of them in the Horn of Africa, are situated in Addis Ababa. It is one of the countries that has demonstrated some sense of stability, and it has harbored a lot of peace, resolution, and some declarations, peace declarations and treaties in the IGAD region have been signed in Ethiopia and Addis Ababa. But today we see a different Ethiopia. Ethiopia that is actually now using military. Ethiopia that is actually using violence against non-combatants. Ethiopia that is no longer concerned with diplomacy. And then my question is, could this be the beginning process of the split of Ethiopia? I mean, like, are we going to have two countries in Ethiopia, just like we have South Sudan and Sudan? Where is this conflict actually heading to? Is there a point where these two warring parties or warring sections, that is the Tigray People's Liberation Front and the Ethiopian government, will come together? And if they come together, are they ready to come together and discuss without any precondition for that discussion? So for me, I find it a very strict situation, but for me, I feel that the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has failed the people of Ethiopia actually, and he has also failed the people of the world. Having won such an award, we expected to see actually diplomacy, negotiation, and mediation taking place in Ethiopia than military. Now, when we see a PM in the military or in the battlefront together with his men, it actually raises a lot of questions concerning the award this man won, and actually the life of the people in Ethiopia, because many young men are being recruited into the government army to fight against the People's Liberation Front. But the question is, are these people even well trained? And I asked myself, given the diverse ethnicity in this in Ethiopia, do the soldiers in Ethiopia actually who are fighting know exactly what they are fighting? Are they not going to have even conflicts within themselves? Because this war in Ethiopia is taking an ethnic direction, and we have soldiers from different ethnic groups in the country. So how is it going to be? It's going to be messy. Do we have hope for negotiation? Kindly drop your comment on the chat box, and kindly, yes, and let's share our ideas. Do you think it's going to be okay for Ethiopia? Do you think it's going to be messy? Do you think the Prime Minister did the right thing by even himself joining the military in the war front? Join the discussion and let's have this discussion going on. And remember to like the video and share it in your networks. Thank you so much, and let us meet next time.